Eating my childhood favorite foods for a full day. So I always used to eat these Marie Callender pot pies, and I forgot how long it takes them to cook and then cool off. It felt like forever as a kid. Honestly worth it though. The chicken is always tender and has like a black peppery flavor, and then the crust, it's the best part. It's so buttery, and the bottom is my favorite because it like soaks up all of the gravy. Then I headed to Target. Going to Target was the best as a kid when your mom let you pick out some snacks, and they have so many flavors of Oreos now, so I decided to try a new one, and of course I had to get some fruit roll-ups. My favorite part was always picking which tattoo for my tongue. This time I picked a crown. So cute. Also, the flavor is really good. It's like fruity and kind of juicy. Then I tried these mocha caramel latte Oreos that smelled and tasted really strongly of coffee, but I think it goes really well with the chocolatey part of the filling. Like, they're pretty rich. Then for dinner, I had one of my favorite childhood foods, Annie's mac and cheese, and I decided to add some chili oil too. I always used to get the Alfredo one, but I couldn't find it anywhere, so I decided to make it a little better, and I also added some chives and some sesame seeds for a little crunch. And oh my gosh, you guys, that chili oil is a game changer. It's spicy and also like cheesy and creamy. And then the chives add a really nice freshness. You have to try this. And that's all for today. Letting my boyfriend decide what I eat for a full day. For breakfast, he decided I should try some Pop-Tarts because we have way too many. So I tried the hot fudge sundae and brown sugar cinnamon. Oh, and this is my dog. She wanted some too. This one had kind of a marshmallowy filling, and honestly, I love that like crunchy vanilla frosting. But the brown sugar cinnamon always slaps. It has that sugary kind of maple syrupy flavor. Then for lunch, we got some PDQ because he had to try the new mac and cheese. Honestly, the cheddar cheese sauce was really creamy, and it has these toasted panko breadcrumbs that add a nice crunch, and their spicy tenders are always cooked perfectly. They're so moist and crispy, and that PDQ sauce has this amazing garlicky flavor. And he loves their spicy chicken sandwich. It has a really nice heat, but it's not too spicy. Oh, and the dill pickles are so tangy. And finally for dinner, we went to Ale House to get a mountain melt. These are his favorite. It's basically a cheesy bacony pile of chicken tenders and fries, and they literally have 17 different sauces. We always get a spicy one and a garlicky one, and the fries, oh my gosh, they're addicting. They're so crispy and cheesy and seasoned perfectly, and that's all for today. Only eating mall food for a full day. So I started at Cinnabon because I literally couldn't help myself. It smelled so good. I am obsessed with that gooey brown sugar cinnamon butter, and then there's always so much icing, and the dough is so tender, but the best part is the middle that's like barely cooked, and it just melts in your mouth. Anyway, then I headed to Auntie Anne's, and I saw they had a roasted garlic Parmesan pretzel, and I don't know if he just put way too much seasoning on it, but it was intense, like so salty and garlicky, just a little bit too much for me. But that's okay, because I also got their pretzel nuggets that were soft on the inside and chewy on the outside and so warm. And finally for dinner, I headed to my childhood mall where I always used to get the Sarku chicken. I mean, did you even go to the mall if you didn't get teriyaki? It's always piping hot because they cook it right in front of you, and I love that glaze. It's so sticky and tangy and sweet. And they give you those free samples, so you literally can't resist. Also, the veggies are always like cooked perfectly. I also tried their dumplings for the first time that were honestly pretty good. They were crispy on the outside. They were also so hot. I definitely should have waited, but anyway, that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Letting my boyfriend's parents decide what I eat for a full day. This weekend, we surprised my boyfriend's parents who had no idea we were coming, and we let his mom pick breakfast. She loves this little family-owned deli called Bagel Mania. And y'all, we got so much food. You guys know I have the worst sweet tooth, so I got these Reese's peanut butter cup pancakes. I mean, who doesn't love cake for breakfast? They're so soft, and the combination of peanut butter and chocolate is just perfect. And they always get this chicken Philly that has the softest bread. Also, it's filled with grilled veggies that add so much flavor, and it's seriously so cheesy. And my boyfriend dips his fries in A1 sauce. It's a little too sour for me. But you guys, this chive cream cheese was so fresh. Also, this garlic and onion bagel was like crispy on the outside and then chewy in the middle. Delicious. Then for lunch, we went to Mission Barbecue, which is his dad's absolute favorite spot. They always get the pulled pork sandwich with Memphis Belle barbecue sauce that's so smoky and like sweet. And I tried the chopped brisket sandwich, which was marinated in barbecue sauce. So it was like an intense flavor, and the brisket was so tender. My favorite thing might have been the mac and cheese though. It had bacon in it. It was so cheesy, and the noodles weren't overcooked at all. And then I added my brisket to it, and that was just next level. Oh, they also had cheer wine, which has that like amazing black cherry flavor, and I always feel so fancy drinking out of a glass bottle. And that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Only eating American Chinese food for a full day. Ever since I went to Chinatown in New York, I've been craving these amazing fried dumplings. Unfortunately, these ones were like a little bit soggy. Also, I asked for chili oil and this is what they gave me. It doesn't look like chili oil to me, but it was really spicy. The steamed dumplings actually weren't bad though. They were really soft. I also got this appetizer platter because we were on a road trip and I was so hungry. The egg roll was actually super crispy, but the wrapping was a little too thick for me. And I've never had Chinese takeout like chicken on a stick before, but it was so tender, honestly delicious. And I'm a sucker for the sweet and sour sauce. It just like reminds me of my childhood and it's literally pure sugar. Also, I love fried food, so the fried shrimp was actually pretty good. I've also never tried ribs from a Chinese takeout place and the glaze was really yummy, but the meat was a little tough. But that's okay because the wings were so good. The skin was crispy and they were tender and moist. Anyway, then we finally made it home and I ordered from my favorite Chinese takeout place of all time. I always get the extra spicy General Tso's. It's so sweet and tangy and has this amazing heat. The broccoli is always cooked perfectly and it comes with these egg rolls that have this crispy thin wrapping and crunchy veggies. And finally, it comes with wonton soup. The wontons literally melt in your mouth and have that really savory pork flavor. And that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Everything I ate at the best Haitian restaurant in Miami. First off, this place is such a vibe. You can sit outside in their garden with their chickens. Also, we got to meet the cook. She was so sweet and she showed us her amazing food that smelled way too good. Then I got way too excited and ordered like everything on the menu because I've never tried Haitian food before. And I started out with lalo. So this is made with jute leaves. And honestly, it tastes like nothing I've ever had before. It's really like aromatic and like herby. And I tried oxtail for the first time. Apparently, this is one of the most expensive cuts of meat because it's so tender and flavorful, like it just falls off the bone. And I had to try their Jamaican jerk chicken. Those dry rub spices are so smoky and hot. Also, it's seriously so juicy. Honestly, one of my favorite things I tried was bulgur. So it's like ground wheat, but it has this amazing like nutty flavor. Actually, I think this one might have been my favorite. This was a cornmeal cooked with coconut milk and a bunch of different spices. It was creamy and so savory. And you guys, I tried this pickles by itself, which was probably a mistake. It was seriously so spicy, like the spiciest thing I've had since coming back from China. It went really well with that cornmeal mixture though, but honestly, I was like sweating and like crying a little bit, but it was worth it. And that's all for today. Only eating Mexican food for a full day. So this is my favorite Mexican restaurant of all time. It's a family-owned spot and their queso is seasoned perfectly. It's also so creamy, but I literally come here just for their birria tacos. They're filled with 12-hour slow braised brisket and Chihuahua cheese, which I didn't even know what that was. They're so savory and that stew is just bursting with flavor. They're also really cheesy. The brisket is super tender and they have this serrano lime dipping sauce that is so hot. And I don't know what they put in these refried beans, but they are so creamy and like earthy, like addicting. Their rice is really good too. It's the perfect texture. It's super sweet. I also tried their Diablo shrimp. So these are chile negro shrimp that are so spicy, but also like sweet and tangy and cooked perfectly. And the fresh guacamole goes so well with it. It kind of like cools off the spice. It's literally perfection. Then we went to visit my boyfriend's family in South Florida and El Mariachi is their favorite spot. I tried their chicken burrito that has this amazing ranchero sauce. And I got the carnitas with pork loin and it was cooked perfectly. It was kind of juicy, super savory, and the flour/corn tortilla was delicious. And that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Eating my top 3 favorite foods. So my friends at That's Fire are creating a new app to help you find the best food in your area. And they asked me to show you my favorite food. So of course we're going to an Asian restaurant. So they have these addicting wontons here where they make the chili oil just for this recipe and it tastes just like it did in China. And that pork flavor is so juicy and savory. Also, they are so soft. And the chili oil has that amazing like warm flavor. And then these are their Korean bulgogi fries that are so crispy. They're covered in queso and spicy mayo and kimchi, literally like an explosion of flavors. And then that marinated ribeye is so tender. Oh my gosh. And honestly, their Thai drunken noodles might be the best noodles I've ever had. I'm not even kidding. The texture of those sticky, soft noodles and then the crunchy mung beans is like perfection. And they have these prawns that are cooked perfectly. It's sweet and savory and a little bit spicy. I dream about these noodles. So if you guys want to find more amazing food in your area, you can check out That's Fire. It's kind of like a combination of TikTok and Yelp where everything is visual. usual. And that's all for today. Come make Chinese dumplings with me. You guys know I've been craving dumplings lately, and those Chinese takeout dumplings just weren't it. So I decided to make them from scratch, and I really wanted them to taste like the ones that I had in China. I also taught my dad how to make them too. And you guys, look, he has this machine that cuts up cabbage like so fast. Anyway, I made the filling with chicken thigh because my family doesn't eat pork. Oh, also, you can use store-bought wrappers if you want, and then the recipe is like super fast. But making the dough myself almost felt like an art project. Like each dumpling is like a little snowflake. They're all a little different and a little messy, but I kind of like that. And the recipe I was following said to boil them first and then pan fry them, and I love that little crispy bottom. And you guys, look, my boyfriend made this like monster dumpling. Anyway, I tried out some new chili oil today too. This one said it was authentic Sichuan chili oil, but it didn't really taste like it did in China. But this Momofuku one is the closest thing I found in a jar. It has that like warm sesame flavor. And the dumplings, you guys, were so good. They were juicy and had like a soft top and a really crispy bottom. Oh, and my mom made this Asian-inspired quinoa salad that was delicious, and it was really fun to just share some of China with my family, and that's all for today. Only eating Cuban food for a full day in Miami. For breakfast, I went to El Rey de las Fritas for a Cuban coffee, of course. I also got some fresh squeezed orange juice, but the coffee, it's so sweet, you guys. And I got a frita cubana, which is a Cuban burger. It has this savory sauteed onion like chorizo flavor. And then the bun is so soft and sweet, and the shoestring potatoes add the perfect crunch. I also tried the El Victoriano, which is like an egg, ham, and cheese sandwich. I love that runny egg. It's so messy, but it's so good. And then the manager said we had to try their homemade flan casero, and oh my gosh, it is so smooth and creamy, and it has this amazing vanilla flavor. Also, it is so sweet. It was so good. Anyway, then we explored Miami a little bit, and I heard this place has the best cubanos in Miami. I don't know, that's a big claim, but look at that cheese pull. And that bread was so buttery. It's like crispy on the outside, but still super soft, and the meat is so juicy and savory. And then the mustard was like perfectly sharp and tangy. Wow, it was so good. But this croqueta is the crunchiest, crispiest one I have ever had, and then the inside was so smooth and creamy, and the ham flavor was delicious. And that's all for today. Thanks for watching.